Hi, this is Jonathan. How you guys doing? Today's video, I'm going to talk about how I built my first pedalboard. If you're new to this channel, you might just want to subscribe to this channel and press the bell for notification of future videos that follow and be part of the Patreon to support this channel. I would appreciate it. Now, pedalboard. I know a lot of you are into pedalboards. I used to have a pedalboard back in the 80s when I was playing in the club, and I depended on these pedal boards with many changes in iterations to it, mostly Boss pedals and Ibanez pedals. I went through the whole period of the 80s until maybe the early 90s with the pedal board. Subsequently, when I went into the studio to become an engineer as well as a studio musician, I gave up, depending on the pedal board altogether. I got into multi-effects, and I never looked back since until today. So even today, when I go about doing my gigs, I'm still dependent on my Line 6 Helix. But I thought I would, try my hand in building a pedal board that I could lug around if I need to, like, play in a small gig or maybe a jam session or maybe in church or whatever, And the fact is that I've been wanting to buy a really favorite amp of mine for a long time, and hence I got it. This is a Tone Master, and I thought, building a pedalboard to go with this Deluxe Fender Deluxe Reverb would be a great idea, and it was really a great idea, and I never did regret building this pedalboard. And I want to thank a lot of people for this. First off, I want to thank Monk from NUX for passing me this beautiful Bumblebee pedalboard itself, and Origin Effects for passing me a couple of their pedals, which are really nice pedals, and NUX again for passing me a whole lot of pedals. But I just felt that I need to incorporate their time-based units here, because they're all stereo in and stereo out, so I can actually run this in stereo with different amps. If I have stereo amps, I could run it in stereo 1, 2. I could have it, run out as a center return for the time-based unit. With the Fender Deluxe, there's no such option, so everything has to go just straight in. There's no center return for this amp, and it still sounds great. So all in all, I'm pretty pleased with this pedalboard that I have here. It's nice, it's compact, it's not too big. Weighs a bit though. I had it drop on me a couple of days ago. It hurts, but you shouldn't do that. You shouldn't have your pedalboard dropping on your legs anyway. So with this pedalboard that I've built, I have one intention, and the intention was to use it in conjunction with a amp. Whether it's a all-tube amp or the Deluxe, the Fender Deluxe Reverb Tone Master. It doesn't really matter. All I had in mind was, like, I want to use this pedal with a clean channel of any amp, and to make sure that I can get the sound that I wanted. Basically, I'm depending on the amp itself, so preferably a tube amp with a little amount of saturation if I push it a little bit harder, so that I can get a little bit of a grit, not too much, just enough mid-range too. So basically, I have a tuner here. So this is from NUX. This is a really cute tuner. I'm going to put all the models of all what you see here in the description box, so in case I forget the names. So this is one of the really small footprint tuner that is from NUX, which I think is super cool. And then followed by the MKII 76 stack from Origin Effects. I love this compressor to death. I just feel that it's a little bit underutilized in this pedalboard. If I get the bigger one, then I'll probably use this as an effect by itself. But for now, it's mostly used as a always-on compressor. And anytime I need to get further sound of this, I can always make the necessary adjustment. The next one will be the DCX Boost, which I think is so cool. X is the booster because if you see the pedal right after that, I'm going to spin a little bit of it later on, but as a unit itself with the MKII 76, it just drives the amp a little bit more, gives a little bit of edge to the amp, and I can acquire the sound that I wanted. There's a drive knob here so that I can kind of like drive it a little bit further, and basically just becomes an overdrive pedal if I need to. But I don't think I'll use it that way. In fact, I'm not using it that way. I'm just having a little bit of a drive here. More of a boost to the amp itself if I want to use just this too, pedal by itself. So it's depending on the amp, whether the amp has a nice preamp to drive it. And after that, you have the Halcyon, the Go Overdrive, which is, in my opinion, one of the better sounding overdrives of all time. It's really nice. That's why I incorporated it into this pedalboard. A whole lot of adjustments to make. Basically, I have to drive almost all the way up, probably about 90%, 95. So this is basically my overdrive pedal. Again, I have to kind of compensate the levels because each of them has different levels. And like I say again, there's a whole lot of adjustments to do. And follow this, I have the Deluxe 61 from Origin Effects too. Now, this is actually an overkill if I were to use it with my Fender Deluxe Reverb Tone Master, because this is actually a sort of a duplication of the same amp. But Very different. The tremolo works very differently from the amp's tremolo. It has certain qualities to it which I explained in the review of this pedal itself. So if you want to find out more, please go to the individual reviews that I have for all these pedals. I like the drive section of this pedal. Basically, you have output, tone, and drive, and I just like the sound of it just by itself. And with the compressor and just the Deluxe 61, it just sounds really warm, really nice. And after that, I have my NUX time call delay. This is relatively new, a really nice delay. It gives you a whole lot of variations. I have yet to do a review for these two pedals, so just watch out for it. But basically, it's a all-in-one delay pedal with many variations to go about. And last but not least, I have the Verb call from NUX also. So this is the reverb unit. It gives you a whole lot of options between plate, spring, hall, room, and whatever. And the best part is there is a hold switch where I can just depress this and it goes into, the shimmer effect. Likewise, you also have a hold switch for the delay pedal. I have not tried that yet. Pretty interesting. Yeah, so basically, if I have it all on, you'll look something like this. So that's my pedal on the front. Now, at the bottom, okay, so you see a whole lot of wires and everything because there's nothing you can do to really hide a lot. It could be managed better, I think. At the heart of this pedal board, I have the download power supply. Pretty cool because you have like 9 volts out and I think about 18 volts out, so depending on your needs. And these are various patch cables that I've gotten all over the place, so I need to standardize it if I really want to make this a really uniform pedal. Now this pedal board itself is from NUX. This is the Bumblebee, right? Nice. This is like a small footprint in a way because it's easy to lug around. It comes with a bag, a carry-on bag, and I used this when I did the clinic in City Music recently, and it works like a dream. Of course, there is the other bigger pedal board which I'm going to show you later on. So this is the bigger version of the Bumblebee pedal board I have. This I think is a medium or a large size, probably medium. So it looks the same, exactly the same, just a bigger pedal board. So you can see that this is a Bumblebee and has this much space, as opposed to the one that I have. It's a whole lot of difference. I can probably add like 2 more pedals, from my current setup. And it's not bad. It's well built. Like this is all like aluminium, and really sturdy and attractive. And you can kind of configure how you want your pedals to be. They provide tools for you, Allen key size, so you can kind of dismantle all this and configure them the way you want to. And it also comes in with Velcro, cable management brackets. Nice. So everything is like in one unit and comes with a nice carry-on bag. So this is basically the same bag that I have on the small Bumblebee, just a bigger version. And on the side you have side pocket for your cables and whatnot, so it's all been thought out properly for you PedalBoard user, right? So you even have a handle for your bag. Now this is exactly the same as the bag that is provided for this smaller version of the Bumblebee. Exactly the same. I want to thank Origin Effects, NUX, and Davis for passing me the power supply right back here. And without them, I don't think this pedal board would be possible. So I know some of you guys are really into pedal boards, and it's an exciting place to be in because there are a whole lot of pedals in the world, and some of the pedals are really nice. But my philosophy so far has been, however great your pedals are, it's the amp. If you have a really great amp, then it would complement each other. If you have a $1,000 pedal and you have a amp that is just not up to par, it just defeats the purpose. So I think the amp is really equally as important as the pedals itself. So I hope you enjoyed this video. If you do, give me a thumbs up. Subscribe to this channel, press the bell for notification of future videos to follow, and be part of patrons to support this channel. I would appreciate it. I thank all my patrons for their wonderful love, their wonderful support. Thank you so much, guys. So in the meantime, you guys please take care of yourself, and I'll see you real soon. Au revoir.